Hello, my beautiful buds. Welcome back to my channel, Express with Joy. My name is Joy, and if you'd like to talk about plants, you're in the right place. And I forgot my notes. Oh my gosh. So I would consider myself like relatively well-versed in the houseplants that are pretty popular on the internet. I want to approach the topic with humility because obviously I do not know everything and I am far from being an expert. I just spend a lot of time on houseplant related social media, like I'm sure many of you as well. But I will say, sometimes I'll be perusing the internet, browsing Facebook groups that are plant related Facebook groups, and occasionally I will come across a plant that I haven't really heard of before, which I actually find really exciting because I find it really interesting and fun to look up plants, kind of research them, poke around, and see them in other people's collections, just especially if I haven't heard of a certain plant before. I just get really curious about it and I wonder, is this a plant that I would like to add to my collection someday? Or I don't know. I just find it fun. So I keep a running list of some of those plants that I come across, and maybe I don't have time to look it up in the moment. They're plants that I want to look into. So I actually thought it might be fun to take you guys along with me today. If you guys have heard about these plants, I mean, sorry, I guess. It's just that I haven't heard about them, and if I haven't heard about them, I figure chances are some of you guys might not have heard about them either. But again, like I'm not an expert, and obviously there are plants that I haven't heard about that I'm sure other people have in their collections that they know of, etc. The main idea is that I really don't see people talking about these plants very often. So yeah. Okay, so the first plant that I want to talk about is the philodendron brevispathum. I think that's how you call it. So I'm just doing an initial Google, and okay, this thing is so beautiful. Holy moly. It does look like Summer Rain Oaks did a YouTube video on this, which I mean, good for her. But look at how gorgeous that is. Look at how gorgeous that is. Wow. Okay, I might want this plant. I might want this plant. It has such a unique leaf shape. Has this speckling. It kind of reminds me of a syndapsis a little bit, just in that it has like silvery flecks. Or I suppose the mame would probably be like a better comparison. Yeah, that's really pretty. So I mean, yeah, if you're interested in this plant, Summer Rain Oaks, I mean, she does pretty nice in-depth videos on houseplants, so that's good. I'm surprised I haven't heard about it if she's done a video on one, but I don't know, I just don't see them around. Let's see. Philodendron. Okay, frogsdirect.com. Let's see. I don't know. This looks like, okay, $85, only 4 in stock. Okay, it says rarely available, and if so, probably came from my stock. Only have a few leaf cuttings per year, naturally silvery, variegated. Well, okay, I guess no wonder this plant is not around a lot. It seems like, I mean, it's not like insanely expensive, but it just seems like it's not in stock very often. Like you might not be able to get it everywhere. And here's, it looks like a lot of these are like reptile shops or whatever. I know that there's some overlap between people that like have terrariums and reptiles and, you know, they're into plants, but mostly for the sake of their little critters. I don't know. That's interesting. But I don't know. I've never really heard of this company, Ill Exotics or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe it is a plant store specifically. I just honestly have no idea. Okay, it looks like, yeah, they've got reptiles, amphibians, along with like other terrarium plants and just plants in general. Okay, yeah, so they kind of do both. That's very interesting. I'm just curious to see. Okay, here's like a Reddit post about it. So I mean, it looks, oh, this one's cheaper. Oh, the shop is taking a short break. I wonder if I can find any other Etsy sellers. I'm not really, when I look it up, I'm not really seeing it. So it looks like it's not super readily available. Yeah, I think that when I was on Facebook, I saw like a red version of it. So I'm assuming that that would have like red backs, but when I'm looking it up, I'm not seeing anything. So I don't know. Well, that's pretty cool. I feel like this plant definitely needs more attention. Like, it's out of stock. Yeah. It's probably just really hard to get a hold of, honestly. Oh, maybe one of these days I'll get it, because that's a really freaking cool plant. All right, well, moving on. Okay, so rhaphidophora, foraminifera. Okay, this one is really cool. This was another one I literally had no idea existed. Obviously I know about like the rhaphidophora genus and stuff like that, but okay, it looks like NSC Tropicals has a listing for it. Whew, okay, yeah, like almost 150 bucks. Out of stock. Okay, let's see what they have to say about it. Rhaphidophora foraminifera is not in many collections, and this is the first time I've offered it for sale in some time. It is native to Borneo, Sumatra, and peninsular Malaysia. It is a climber with small holes down the midrib, and the leaves are elongated. This might be one of my new favorite plants. When juvenile, the leaves are entire, and they gradually develop holes as it climbs. So the last picture is a size of plant for sale. So this is like the more mature form with the holes, which the holes on it are so unique. I think, hang on, let me see. Is the Monstera leclerana like that as well? They're just, like the leaf shape is similar and the holes are like kind of smaller and more towards the center of the plant, at least initially. I don't know, but that's really cool. But it's like a Rhaphidophora, so different genus. But this is what the plant looks like when you would buy it from NSC Tropicals if you're able to snag one. That's really unique. I really like that. But for that price point, I don't know if I would. I don't know. I think I would consider getting the other one, the brevispathum or whatever that was, the philodendron brevispathum, because I actually really like that. The leaf shape is super unique. This is cool too, but I don't know if I'm quite as sold on it, but I still think it's pretty neat. That's really cool. All right, I wonder if there's anything else on it. Okay, teak and terracotta has information on it, looks like. I don't know. Yeah, these care summaries like are kind of helpful sometimes to get a baseline, but everyone's environment and home is just so different. It's like I feel like there is a general baseline of care that most houseplants or at least aeroids enjoy, but then after that it's just kind of like, I don't know, whatever works for you. So let's see, check the plant every week. Okay, yeah, bright indirect sunlight. Yeah, I mean, this is all like pretty typical stuff. Relatively high humidity, but it doesn't need like 100% humidity or anything. Yeah, I wonder if Etsy has it. Yeah, I feel like these plants are really interesting because they're not like hot plants that, I don't know, I feel like there are lots of plants that Botanica's lists that people are like drooling, foaming at the mouth over and willing to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars for, and they're like super hot plants. No, I'm not seeing that. Oh, actually, wow. Is that what the decursiva looks like when it's more mature? I don't know if I've actually seen like a super mature one. That's really cool. Anyways, that's beside the point. Actually, bro, do I need a decursiva in my life now? I just didn't realize it gets like that. That's really neat. But yeah, I'm not seeing the foraminifera here or anything like that. But yeah, these plants are plants that like, they're definitely more unusual, difficult to get your hands on, probably more expensive, but like people aren't really talking about them or they don't have them in their collections. Okay, the next one that I came across, I was really confused. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this. It's a philodendron pluto. And when I saw it, at first I thought it was just like a philodendron narrow, but apparently it's distinct because there's like the jungle boogie / narrow and the ring of fire and caramel marble. I don't know, there's so many different kinds, but they're these philodendrons that have the serrated leaf. So I just don't really know. Apparently the philodendron pluto is distinct from those for some reason. This photo here doesn't have like the serrated edges, but let me see, and it's 50 bucks. I wonder, okay, so here's the serrated edges. I don't know, I don't own any of these philodendron with like the serrated edges, so I feel like I just don't have enough personal experience like up close to really know the difference between all of them. I know the ring of fire is variegated and the caramel marble has like even more variegation, and the jungle boogie or the narrow kind doesn't. But this pluto kind, like what is different about it? I don't know. Let me look that up actually. Oh, okay, serratum, jungle boogie, pluto, ring of fire. There's a Facebook post that is outlining the differences. So let's see. Okay, the jungle boogie, also known as tiger tooth, has glossy green, deeply cut leaves. Okay, and then philodendron pluto / choco empress. What a name. They have tiger tooth shaped leaves with dark green foliage. Leaves as mature turn in dark green, and some leaves turn brownish black. Okay, so that must be the difference, is that maybe the jungle boogie or the narrow or whatever you want to call it just has glossy green leaves, but maybe the Pluto like has kind of like how the Dark Lord has like those really dark leaves as it comes in, rather than just a plain philodendron iridescens or something that would just have plain green leaves. Okay, that must be the difference. And then Ring of Fire has variegation, and the caramel marble more brown caramel colors and splashy yellow green variegation. Okay, well, I guess that's settled. So yeah, this seems like another fun, just alternative. I guess if you're like a really big fan of these serrated leaves, you would probably want like all of them, you know? But I feel like for me, I would be fairly content with just, okay, yeah, I see what they're talking about. Like, see, the leaves are coming in more, I guess, brown or darker, kind of, rather than just like a plain green. But yeah, I feel like I would be content with just one of these serrated edge type plants. Oh, it's sold out here, actually. I mean, I think it's a very attractive plant. Let's see. Okay, the next one on my list that I wanted to look at was the anthurium ellipticum. And again, I mean, if you guys have these plants, I would love to hear about your experiences with them, just because like I just don't know about them very much. This kind of looks like, oh gosh, there's like a certain brand of anthurium. Like I think the superbum is one of them. They kind of have more of that like bird's nest look or like growth pattern. And the texture like isn't velvety. Yeah, it looks more kind of like, not even glossy, it's just a slightly rougher texture. I don't really know how to describe that. The words aren't coming to me, but I think that you guys know what I mean. But it's pretty cool. I mean, maybe it's not quite as bird's nesty, because like the superbum, for example. Okay, yeah, the anthurium superbum has like similar vibes to this ellipticum, I think. But the ellipticum looks a little bit more graceful to me. Like the superbum is more stiff, and the ellipticum kind of has more bends to the leaf. Maybe isn't quite as rigid. So that's pretty cool. I don't know fully if it's like my vibe or not, but I could maybe learn to jive with it. I like that the color isn't a super deep green. It looks kind of dusty, like a dusty green, which I think is really pretty. Let's see. Its leaves are absolutely massive. It's perfect for somebody living in a low light space. I mean, maybe. I do know some anthurium actually don't need like a ton of light. They tend to get bleached or unhappy if they get too much light, but I don't know if I would call it low light per se either. It's honestly almost giving fiddly fig. I might be crazy, but when I look at this, it has kind of like a similar venation. Am I crazy? I mean, obviously the leaf shape is a little bit different, but it's almost like those dwarf fiddly figs or something. I don't know. That's just kind of the vibe that I'm getting from it, which is kind of fun. Okay, the next plant that I wanted to look at was the aglaonema rotundum. It's coming up with like aglaonema chocolate, it looks like over here. Are they like the same thing? Because if that's the case, that's definitely an aglaonema chocolate. Oh, what? It looked different in the picture that I saw. Yeah, here. Okay, yeah, this is way different from the aglaonema chocolate. Like this is like a black leaf with pink venation. But this is obviously the chocolate aglaonema. So like, which is it? hang on. My brain is broken right now. So if I look up the aglaonema chocolate, because like I love the aglaonema chocolate, but yeah, the picture that I saw for the aglaonema rotundum was definitely this one. Like it is not Are they the same thing? No, that can't be the same thing. Like, they look similar, but that is not the same thing. Y'all are crazy. Yeah, it looks really similar to the aglaonema chocolate, but also super different. Because, like, look at that. You cannot look at that and tell me that that's the aglaonema chocolate. Because that looks so different. I can see where people could mix it up, but, like, no way. Let's see, let's look at this. Okay, but that is looking like the aglaonema chocolate. You guys, I'm really confused. Is it, oh my gosh. This is like a whole journey, like trying to figure out, is this plant just the aglaonema chocolate, but like grown under different conditions? Or is it a different plant? Because that right there, unless maybe there's like a filter, like that looks radically different. Boy, this is some drama over here. Okay, aglaonema chocolate versus rotundum, I guess. I will look up because what the heck? Because like, yeah, there's a lot of people that are just calling it the rotundum. But I'm so confused. I'm so confused, you guys. You can't. Okay, none of that's helping me. But you cannot tell me that this right here is an aglaonema chocolate. You cannot tell me that. Like, there's no freaking way. Unless, again, it could be like completely heavily edited or something, but like, that looks like barely like it. Because the aglaonema chocolate has like, it's so colorful. See, and I've seen one in person too. Like, it looks colorful like that. Like it has like the brighter green and the red backs to the leaves, and the stripes are like less pink and more like, they kind of have some orange hues and white hues and pink hues, but like there's more to it than that. But this right here, even the stripes, like they look thinner here versus the aglaonema chocolate. Like, do you guys understand what I'm saying and why I'm so confused? Oh wait, ACEH. What is that? Okay, well, maybe it's just a different variety of aglaonema chocolate, but that's interesting. Because again, when I saw it online, it was like almost black leaves, very dark leaves with like the bright pink stripes, and people called it aglaonema rotundum. I've always just called the aglaonema chocolate. So I don't know, if you guys have any idea, please let me know, because that is incredibly confusing for me. All right, the next one that I wanted to look at is the anthurium metallicum, which I am certain, I mean, Equigenera sells it. I am certain that like all y'all know exactly what this is, but I'm like slightly less versed in anthurium. Like, I know your most typical anthurium that people tend to have in their collections, but metallicum, I mean, not so much. Like, I just haven't heard of it, but it's very expensive. I mean, obviously there are more expensive plants out there, but like, that price is steep, very steep. Like, I don't know if I would spend more than $200 on a single plant. I don't know that I could do it. But I mean, those leaves are really beautiful. Like, look at that leaf shape. Amongst aroid experts, anthurium metallicum is known to be one of the most impressive species. Leaves can be over 4 feet long and have a beautiful velvety sheen. Wow, okay. Temperatures on the cooler side and nighttime temperature drops and constant humidity. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, look at that. Okay, those lobes though, that's really cool. Yeah, I know this type of anthurium tends to be really popular. Like, the queen anthurium has that really long leaf shape, same with the veitchii, the king anthurium. So yeah, I can see where people would like this. This definitely seems like it's more popular or out there, maybe. Yeah, here's one too on Etsy in 5 carts. So yeah, I'm certain all y'all have probably heard of this one, but I just haven't. And so I wanted to look into it with you guys. Okay, that's really, really pretty. But yeah, definitely expensive. It's a velvety anthurium, it seems like, and has that gorgeous leaf shape. I'm certain it would probably be an absolute pain to take care of, but that's just my assumption. Okay, there's only one more that I think I have time to look at today. It's a syngonium auritum. Okay, it's Gabriella plants. Okay. Again, this is one that I'm sure a lot of people know about, especially if it's on Gabriella plants. Like, that's a pretty popular plant website, but I just haven't heard of it. Looks like it's discounted, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I just haven't seen this one around or in very many people's collections when I'm on social media, but it's pretty cool. Like, it looks like it has kind of that bunny ear mature syngonium leaf shape, but that typically doesn't happen until they're more mature. But it looks like, I mean, this plant doesn't look like it's all that old or anything. I'm not like overly into it. It definitely looks like it's around a lot more. So I'm kind of surprised that I haven't seen it around. I just haven't. Because there seems to be a lot more information on this one than some of the other ones. But maybe it's just not like as popular. I don't know. That's always possible. And like, it's in stock and stuff, so it's not like it's super uncommon. People just don't seem to be talking about this one very often. But I guess, I mean, it's not overly colorful. It has that cool shape, but like, I feel like with syngonium, people tend to gravitate towards the ones with like pink splashes, or, you know, the syngonium albo, or even the erythrophyllum nowadays. People seem to be like, I don't know that they would be quite as attracted to this one, but that's just my assumption. I think, I mean, the draw to it is definitely here. This is calling it the syngonium bunny ear. So the draw to it is certainly that it has that unique shape earlier on, and it has that glossier finish too. Well, I feel like I learned quite a bit. This is definitely like my first time doing a video like this, so please let me know if you guys enjoyed it and if you would like a part 2. I mean, I am constantly looking up plants and just kind of perusing what's out there. So I mean, I don't know, let me know if you guys thought that was interesting and if you'd want to see another one and kind of get to know some of these new plants along with me. And I'd say definitely that first one stood out to me the most, I think, of all of them. Like, that's the one that I think I would maybe try to get if I can, because that one's really cool. Again, like, if you have experience with any of these plants, I would love to hear about your experience. What do you think about them? Would you recommend them to any of us? Yeah, like, please let me know. Yeah, I think it's cool to give attention to plants that you don't really see in people's collections very often. So yeah, and with that, I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.